one last video for the day, and then I've got to get some calls done. But I've been thinking about some things because, by the way, Steve Bentley here. One of the coaches on the group. Thanks so much to Susan Sly for putting this together. Awesome group, love the energy. But here's some things that are going on. Don't jump on the table. Don't leave it. Here's some things that are going on in the team, and there's a lot of success that's happening, and I think that's fabulous, but there's some people who aren't having results that they'd love to be having, and I'm sure from looking around, you're getting frustrated. I can just imagine, right? I've lost a number of pounds this week, feeling good, lots of energy, actually feel really good, but I do kind of a keto thing regularly anyway, so it's not a big surprise for me. But here's the deal. There's a lot of different people in this group, and there's a lot of people who have been packing on pounds really quickly, and that's going to come off really fast as well. There's a lot of people who have been trying really hard, doing a lot of great things for a long time, and they are stuck, and they're going to come in and do something different like this, and they're going to get amazing results really fast. And if you're not one of those people, and maybe you're on a journey and you're just not there right now, or you've been overweight and not where you want to be for an awfully long time, you've been only doing this for 10 days. Like, give yourself a break. We've got a lot of time still to go, so don't get frustrated. I'm going to put a link in the comments section of an awesome video that somebody posted. I wish I remember who posted it. It was great. It was about Nurse Cindy, I think, talking about fat as water balloons and the water in there and how that keeps your body full, keeps it heavy, keeps it looking a certain size, but the fat's getting burned up inside that water balloon until that fat cell decides to let go of the water. So that's a cool analogy that I want you to go find that video in the comments below after I post this, because it's really relevant for what we're doing here. So many times people jump into a diet, and this is not a typical restriction diet. It's just not, right? We're doing things to get your body into a better state to burn and access fat, or access and burn fat. That's where the whole ketonic thing, the whole ketogenic, the ketosis aspect of what we're doing is coming into play. And that's why it's so important to focus on a few things. And I wrote a couple notes here, so hopefully I can get through this in a kind of a straight line of not going off on too many tangents like I tend to do. But number one, let's think about that, straight line. Health is not a straight line journey. You're not going to come in and start to feel better and better and better and better and better forever. It just doesn't work that way, especially with systems like isogenics, where our body is actually on purpose recycling and getting rid of old, damaged, inefficient cells. That's going to happen on the cleanse days next week, next Monday or Tuesday, or whenever you're doing them. And there's times where you're going to get feeling really good, and then you're going to feel bad for a while, and you're going to wonder, am I doing the right thing, right? Whether it's the energy from doing this ketogenic program, or doing cleansing, or getting better nutrition into your system, keep that in mind. Our cells are constantly regenerating all the time. Millions and billions of cells every hour are regenerating in our body. We want that to happen, and as they regenerate, when we've got great nutrition in our system, those cells that come back in and replace the old ones are going to be better. They're going to feel better. But as you get rid of those old cells and they start to get eliminated from your body, it's not a party. You're not going to feel great. You're going to feel like dirt sometimes, and that's okay. It's kind of like a race. If you're an athlete, you're going to feel a certain way for a period of time. And I always tell people, if you're feeling good, don't worry. You're going to feel like crap really quickly. Right? That happens all the time. You don't always feel great. You push, you go. There's ebbs and flows. There's going to be that in this program as well. So relax. Be good to yourself, right? That's really important. So not a straight line thing. Give it time. That's a really big one. Kind of we talked about right at the beginning. We're only 10 days in, or 11 days now. I guess it's Thursday. So yeah, it's Thursday. 5 days tomorrow. So it's only 11 days in. Like, relax. It's not a big deal. This is a 30-day program. We're only a third of the way through, and right now we're just setting ourselves up to be successful as we go through the program. We haven't even done cleansing days yet. Usually when I get people to come into my team on isogenics, and I've been doing this for almost 12 years now, I have them do shakes for a week just to prepare their body for the first cleanse day, right? Because I don't want them to rush into cleansing days. They'll get great results really quickly, but for some people that's too much. So Susan's done an amazing job of planning this out in 2 weeks of just getting your body used to and your brain used to low carb eating, so that we can get to the point where we kind of know what we need to do through the day. That's awesome. Right? And then we're going to get into a up to 50 gram carb day for cleansing next week. And just the cleanse drink itself is 40 grams of carbs. That's why we're waiting until week 3, if you were wondering. Okay, let's see. got my sheet here. It fell off my phone, so I'm just going to look at it and read it. Focus on all your macros. Don't just focus on carbohydrates, because if you do, quite often you're going to get too high on the protein. So go in and look at that. Set your macros, set your calories, figure out what is your base calorie that you need to be doing. The thing I typically do with people is, if you're not worried so much about exercising, then just add a 0 onto your goal weight. So if you're trying to get to 140 pounds or 150 pounds, just add a 0 onto the end of that. That's kind of your base calories. It's not going to be right. It might be too high, it might be too low, but it gives you somewhere to start, right? And if you're exercising, add some calories onto that, commensurate to how much you're exercising, how hard and how long. Now, you've been doing this for a week and a half, you should be able to get back into your training again if you're an exerciser. But if you're not, that's okay. Give it a break. Let your body adapt to what we're doing. It's so important. If you're going to be exercising, this is a cool thing that I've said to people for years. Your body utilizes glycogen and carbohydrates to put them into glycogen during exercise. So if you're going to be bringing in a lot of carbohydrates into your system, or relatively, because we're not eating that many carbs, if you're going to be eating carbohydrates, let's just say that, the ideal thing to do, and again, I said this video is for people who are having a hard time. So if you're not, don't worry about this part, because just keep doing what you're doing. But if you're having a hard time, let's fine tune what's going on and get those carbs in around when you're exercising. So that, and again, may not be easy, I'm just saying what works. If you can eat your carbohydrates closer to when you're working out, so either just before or during or right afterwards, more of those carbohydrates are going to go into muscle glycogen replenishment, right? Your body's looking for that anyway, especially if you're having a hard time exercising right now or you're feeling tired. Try and get a greater proportion of the carbohydrates that you're eating in and around your exercise. It doesn't mean you have to go crazy and eat more carbs than you're supposed to for whatever plan you're on, but just try and concentrate the carbohydrates that you are eating in and around when you're working out. That'll make a huge difference. Fiber holds a lot of water, right? It does. That's what it's there for. It's designed to absorb things, toxins, impurities, water, junk in your intestines. So you want to make sure that you're getting that stuff into your body, because that fiber is going to hold, right, stuff until it goes, right? It holds until it goes. So you want to make sure that if you're eating a lot of fiber, like I want you to get ready for Monday and Tuesday, keep in mind that fiber is in your system and it's holding on to things. And if you're not used to eating a lot of fiber, there could be a little bit of an accumulation period, let's just say that, as your body brings things in and holds on to them a little bit longer before it starts to get used to eliminating them and you get into a better groove. Water, I've said this tons of times. Try and drink about a half an ounce to an ounce of water for every pound that you weigh. So goal weight, not what your current weight is if you're trying to lose a lot of weight. That's a lot of water. So half an ounce to an ounce. And then, let's see, yeah, that's just the last thing. Keep in mind, ketosis is a process, right? This is not a diet. It's not your typical restriction diet. We're trying to fine tune your body to access fat more effectively for fuel and make that body a better fat burning machine. And it's going to take a little bit of extra time. And if you're worried about being in ketosis, don't worry about it. Just follow the plan. Personally, I like to know, so I'm going to test. I've got pee strips and I've got a blood glucose and ketone monitoring device. So I want to know that stuff, but you don't need to know, right? And if you are looking at your pee strips and your tons of ketones coming out of your body and you're wondering why things aren't going on, how that works, and I've talked about this in other posts, your ketone pee strips are just measuring what's coming out of your body. So if you're generating a ton of ketones and you're not using them, they're going to get flushed out of your system and you're going to see that on that pee strip. So maybe your body's still in that process of getting from, hey, wow, what are these things? We're just used to burning sugar. What is this ketone stuff? Not used to utilizing that, to, okay, you're going to keep this crazy low carb thing going on for a little while. We better get used to burning those ketones and utilizing them. And then it's going to start to use the ketones. If that makes sense, right? Hopefully it does. And then after a while, the pee strips actually aren't that useful because you're going to start to see that your levels are going down. Not that you're any less in ketosis, potentially. You're just using the ketones more, so there's less being excreted from your system. So anyways, just wanted to talk about a few key components for people who are struggling and having a hard time. I'm feeling for you. I want you to be successful. Stay strong, stay focused. Imagine that you are the most unique person in the world, because you are, and you don't want to be like everybody else anyway. So forget about all those people who are having an amazing response to this program. You are you, and you keep being you. right? It's going to kick in. You're going to get results. Stay strong, stay focused. This is not a typical diet, right? Use your mind. Imagine where you want to go and who you want to become in the process of that. It's not just about how you look on the scale or in your pants or your jeans or whatever it is you're wearing, right? It's the whole mindset of transforming your body, getting from where you were to where you want to be. And the number on the scale and the number on the tape measure is just one component of that. It's a complete picture, and you're going to lose weight. This is going to work for you, right? But if you're stuck and you're pissed off and you're miserable because everybody else is being successful and you're not, that's a problem. And it's not going to allow you to get into a better state of fat burning. I'm sorry to tell you, you've got to be grateful, you've got to be happy, you've got to focus on where you want to go. And again, I'm a coach, I'm not a cop. I'm just going to tell you what to do. It's up to you to decide to do it. And I know you can, right? You're going to be amazing. Keep going, follow the program, stay strong, and I'm going to see you on Sunday because we're going to have a lot of fun Sunday afternoon talking about those cleanse days. I'm looking forward to it. Have a great day. Bye.